It's been a while. It's gonna be good to have you, buddy.
You guys really look like crap.
So now it's time to find out why all those Marvel characters kept bumping into Infinity Stones. This story's called Avengers: Infinity War.
You sure you're up to this particular murder mission?
Show me.
So we pick back up where we left off with Thor on his ship, where we find out who is on the other ship. It's Thanos and his army, and they've already let half of the Asgardians go and killed everybody that's left, except Thor and Loki, because we know their names.
You're very perceptive.
Thanos already has the Power Stone from Xandar, but we don't see how he got it, because there's nobody on Xandar that we give a crap about.
What a bunch of a-holes.
Thanos drags Thor over to Loki, and threatens to kill him if he doesn't give up the Tesseract.
Didn't it get destroyed on Asgard?
No, apparently Loki took it, and it's just been floating around him like Navi the Fairy.
Hey, look!
And then he goes to turn it over because he doesn't want Thor to die.
But he's tried to kill him a bunch of times.
Yes, on many occasions.
Right, but it's like, I can hit my brother all I want, but you better not even think about hitting him.
You really are the worst, brother.
So he goes to turn it over, but we find out that Banner's apparently been hiding somewhere watching all the Asgardians get slaughtered, so Loki can make a callback joke.
We have a Hulk.
Hulk gets the crap kicked out of him when Thanos isn't even using the Power Stone on him. Thor tries to help, but this purple Voldemort-looking dude, Ebony Maw, wraps him up in scrap metal.
We do not speak his name.
But why doesn't Thor just hit him with lightning?
Oh yes, a bolt of lightning into a huge copper conductor. I thought you lived at a school.
Heimdall is barely alive and apparently didn't see the attack coming.
Saw you coming.
Of course you did.
But he sends Hulk away using the Bifrost.
I bid you farewell and good luck, morons.
Thanos doesn't like this one bit and stabs him.
Not Heimdall.
Oh, shut up. It's not like he ever did anything.
Heimdall was an idiot.
The no-nose dude gives the Tesseract to Thanos and says,
No other being has ever had the might to wield not one, but 2 Infinity Stones.
But Loki had 2 when he attacked Earth, and technically Natasha had control of both of those at one point, and she's just a normal human.
Agent Romanoff is comfortable with everything.
So Thanos crushes the Tesseract with one hand, not even using the Power Stone, revealing the Space Stone, and he puts it in his glove. Thanos then tells the Black Order to get the 2 stones from Earth and meet him on Titan. So Loki says he'll serve Thanos too, but in true Loki fashion, he tries to stab Thanos, which might have worked if he didn't just turn over the Space Stone.
Great planning.
How was I supposed to know? Can't see into the future, I'm not a witch.
Thanos then chokes him, and he dies.
Well, he's been dead before.
He then teleports them off the ship, just before it blows up.
What more could I lose?
On Earth, Banner shows up at the Sanctum Sanctorum to warn him.
Oh, it's definitely the end times.
Doctor Strange finds Tony and Pepper at the park, and Bruce fills them in on what Thanos is planning. They need to find Vision to warn him, so they need to call Steve. But for some reason, Tony carries around the extra phone that he keeps charged, containing only one number that belongs to an international fugitive that uses his real name in case he needs to get a hold of him in an emergency. But Tony doesn't want to call him because, I don't know, feelings?
Cap and I fell out hard.
But instead of calling him when the city is under attack to warn them, they go outside to superhero.
What's the matter with you kids? You never seen a spaceship before?
Peter Parker gets cold and notices a spaceship outside, so he has Ned distract the bus so he can slip out and meet the rest.
I'm back up.
Ebony Maw and this crocodile dude, Cull Obsidian, beam down, but Doctor Strange won't just hand over the time stone.
This isn't a time for showing off.
They fight, but Bruce is having some performance issues, so Doctor Strange sends him to the park.
Banner's powerful and useful too.
Is he though?
Iron Man fights Cull in the park, where he's joined by Spider-Man,
You should not be here.
while the wizards fight Maw in the street. When he's about to take the necklace, he finds out that there's a spell on it, and Doctor Strange will have to willingly give him the stone if he wants it.
Try me, Beyonce.
So Maw knocks him out and takes him and part of the road with him. But the cloak of levitation isn't having any of that, and flies him out of his restraints that loosen for no reason.
It's super tight.
Spider-Man goes after Doctor Strange and gets beamed up with him on the spaceship.
I'm being beamed up.
Wong sends Cull to Siberia, but when he tries to jump back, he closes the portal, cutting his hand off.
Write that down.
Ben, you want a piece?
Tony then flies up to the ship to rescue Peter and Steven.
Doctor Strange.
Peter's hanging onto the ship, but he's losing oxygen. But Tony sent him a new suit so he can breathe.
We're now in a flying donut, billions of miles from Earth with no backup.
Tony gets in the ship, and then Pepper calls him to give him shit about trying to save the universe.
Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to exit the donut.
We then see that Spider-Man's climbed back aboard.
Because it's fun.
Well, back on Earth, Bruce miraculously finds the flip phone amongst all the wreckage and calls Captain America.
I'll be there.
We then go to the Guardians, where they're tracking a distress signal and bump into Thor because he has terrible luck with glass panels. They get him inside, where Quill is jealous that everyone thinks Thor's handsome.
It's like a pirate had a baby with an angel.
But then Thor wakes up and fills him in. When Thor talks to Gamora, Quill starts an unnecessary contest with Thor.
So if we're done measuring dicks, can you have your people show me what you found?
He wants to go to nowhere to get the Reality Stone, but first Thor needs to go to Nidavellir to get a new weapon.
Wait, what kind of weapon are we talking about here?
The Thanos killing kind.
But they decide to split up.
So me and Group will go with the pirate angel here, and the morons will go to nowhere to try to stop Thanos.
We then go to Vision, who's hiding out in a luxury hotel, but having some headaches from the Mind Stone.
Yeah, well, the hotels weren't exactly 5-star.
Wanda tries to comfort him, and they go for a walk where they see what happened in New York. Vision then gets stabbed by a very sneaky elf dude.
You overestimate the power of these creatures.
And this blue chick with horns, Proxima Midnight, attacks Wanda, while Corvus Glaive goes after the Mind Stone. He has a spear that just happens to stop Vision's powers, but Wanda gets to him before he can get the stone. They then fly off, where they get shot down into the very same train station Captain America is in, so he can make a dramatic entrance.
Badass.
Midnight sees his silhouette as a threat and throws her spear at him.
My reflexes are too fast. I would catch it.
Falcon and Black Widow also happen to be there, because they were stalking them since Vision turned his tracker off. But I guess they could have just spotted the giant UFO over Scotland, which didn't cause as much of a scene as the one in New York. I guess Ebony Maw must be a drama queen.
He's a full-tilt diva.
Gamora remembers when Thanos invaded her planet and then adopted her.
The fact is, you kidnapped this child.
He was even nice enough to distract her while half her planet was executed. She then makes Quill promise to murder her if Thanos finds her.
Do you want to hear that sometimes I think about eating a bullet? Well, I do.
When they get to nowhere, they see Thanos talking to the Collector. Their plan is to sneak around and find the Reality Stone.
For the record, this is my plan.
But Drax still wants revenge for his family, and Gamora says screw it and just runs up and kills Thanos.
Got so strong now, huh?
But it was all a trick using the Reality Stone. And apparently, Thanos was just waiting around on the off chance Gamora heard what he was doing and went there to stop him.
But it does work.
But it shouldn't have. The Guardians had to answer the distress signal, get there first, find Thor in all of this wreckage, he has to still be alive, then tell them where to find the Reality Stone, and trust them to go get it. And Thanos just happens to be waiting around for all that to happen while he's trying to speedrun a mission before anyone can gather enough people to stop him.
Bullshit.
And of course, if she would have just told Thor she knew where the Soul Stone was when he brought up that no one knows where it is, he would have taken her with him to Nidavellir so he could protect her instead of letting her go where Thanos might be.
That was a mistake.
And since she did go to nowhere, now he has her.
Seriously?
Well, Drax tries to save her, but Thanos dices him and turns Mantis into a jack-in-the-box. Quill goes to shoot him, but Gamora begs him to shoot her.
You want to die? I'm not afraid of it. I ain't afraid of it.
He pulls the trigger, but only bubbles come out because Thanos wanted to see if he had the balls to shoot her.
If what's between my legs had a hand on it, I guarantee I could have.
Thanos takes Gamora, and Drax and Mantis go back to normal.
Thank you.
I'm ugly.
Back at the Avengers compound, Cap and the other fugitives show up, and Secretary Ross wants them all arrested in the middle of an alien invasion.
He kinda hates us.
So Rhodey hangs up on him, and we see that Cap's come a long way.
I'd like to surrender myself for disciplinary action.
I'm not looking for forgiveness, and I'm way past asking permission.
So Bruce comes in, and everyone's super surprised that he's back, even though he's the one that called them.
I didn't know it was him.
They know that Thanos is coming for the Mind Stone, so they want to protect Vision, but he thinks they should just kill him.
Why does somebody always have to die in this scenario?
Bruce thinks that if they can separate him from the stone, that he might be able to survive, so they head to Wakanda.
It's a place. We've been there. It sucks.
Back in space, Doctor Strange is about to be tortured by acupuncture, but won't give up the Time Stone.
That's mine.
Tony watches as the Cloak of Levitation and Spider-Man sneak up on him.
All right, guys, let's wrap this up. It's school night.
He's mad that Peter is still there, but it's a really good thing because his idea is the one that saves Doctor Strange.
Okay, did you ever see this really old movie, Aliens?
Is it still the greatest movie in history?
It never was.
Once they get Steven back in the ship, Iron Man spray foams the hole shut, and they discuss their next move.
Who just saved your magical ass?
I did.
The adults are talking.
Tony wants to go to Titan to surprise Thanos, and Doctor Strange agrees, but lets them know that he would rather let them die than give up the rock.
I will not hesitate to let either of you die.
Gamora tells Thanos that she hates him for kidnapping her, and he says that not only did he help her, but he helped her planet by killing half the people.
Your talent for horse shit rivals mine.
It's thriving because they have enough to eat and everyone has a job. I mean, they're probably still sad that there was a genocide, but at least there's not a chicken shortage.
I would very much like to go there, please.
He's so sure that he's right about genocide that he wants the stones so he can snap away half of the universe all at once.
Like this.
He knows that she's the key to the Soul Stone, and proves it by showing her a memory of when she told Nebula that she knows where it's at. But who knows when that happened.
Because I found the map to the Soul Stone, and I burned it to ash.
And after seeing what happened on Nowhere, she doesn't question whether Nebula is really there being tortured or not. So Gamora tells him where it is, and Nebula escapes as soon as they're gone. And then she contacts the Guardians for help.
I need you to meet me on Titan.
Thor, Rocket, and Groot get to Nidavellir and find out it's been destroyed. And this is really the last thing Thor needs. He's kinda had a shitty week.
Hey, don't worry, here, have a French fry.
But at least Rocket gives him the spare eye he's been carrying around in his purse.
I am prepared.
But for some reason it didn't occur to him to give it to him until they got there. They walk around the dark factory and are attacked by a giant whose hands are welded shut. Thanos came by to get his gauntlet and killed all the dwarves but him.
I thought you said he was a giant.
He's a giant dwarf. Don't try to make sense of it. But Thanos killed 300 of them and then left Eitri to die after he made the power glove.
They killed all my friends.
And somehow this dude's lasted 2 years on his own without being able to cook or wipe his butt.
But I want my own ass! I want my own ass!
He's mad at Thor for letting this happen, but they were attacked when Loki was on the throne of Asgard and Odin was in a retirement home.
I'm going to allow that.
Thor asks him to make a new weapon, but first, they have to restart a star.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Tony, Peter, and Steven show up on Titan and land in a way that Thanos won't suspect a thing. But that doesn't matter because Quill, Drax, and Mantis rush in to ambush what they think are Thanos' men. They have a standoff, but then realize they're on the same side.
Same side.
Wait a minute.
Guess who?
Hey,
Hi.
They try to form a plan, but they're interrupted by Doctor Strange glitching out. He looks into the future and saw only one possible way for them to win.
Are you serious?
Thanos and Gamora go to Vormir to get the Soul Stone, and even though he has the Space Stone, they decide to take a hike up a mountain instead of teleporting to the top. When they get there, we finally see what happened to Red Skull.
You disapprove.
His job now is to sit on top of this mountain and tell anyone who shows up on this barren planet and decides to climb to the top how they can get some jewelry.
But you can go to Tiffany's and have a fat businessman from Cleveland buy you all the diamonds you want.
Turns out that to get the stone, you have to sacrifice someone you love. And of course he brought
My favorite daughter, Gamora.
So he chucks her over the ledge and gets the stone.
You don't give up, do you?
Families can be tough.
The fugitive Avengers make it to Wakanda, where they meet up with Bucky and T'Challa, and get Vision to Shuri. She thinks that they can get the Mind Stone free, but she needs time to do the surgery. But of course, as soon as she says that, the army shows up and knows exactly where to go. So Vision's like, just kill me.
Shut up! Yes or no? You want to die?
T'Challa readies the army to buy them some time, but they'll have to get past the shield first. These bug things occasionally can get through, but most of them get cut in half. So instead of letting like half the army just kill themselves, they just open the gate and let them all in.
I like your plan, except it sucks.
I get that they're trying to keep the army all together, but I don't know why they didn't just shut it at random intervals to keep the numbers low.
Because we didn't think of it?
On Nidavellir, Thor gets the star working again by aligning some rings.
It better be some hammer.
Thor now has to hold a door open so Eitri can heat the metal, but doesn't wait for him to be ready before he opens it.
Hold it! Hold it! Oh!
And then doesn't tell him when he can stop either.
You couldn't have told me sooner? Don't throw a fit. There wasn't time.
Eitri also didn't put the handle anywhere close.
Tree! Help me find the handle!
And Thor needs the axe to save him from being burned alive.
Oh, so like his hammer saved him in the first story?
Kind of. You see, in the first story, the hammer gave him his powers back, and now he already has his powers, So you kind of have to assume the axe is like a defibrillator. But I would also like to know if any hand tool could save him.
It's exactly what I need to make this work.
In Wakanda, they're being overrun. But Thor beams in and saves all the main characters.
It's a fighting pose. You're a total poser. Oh, come on. I mean, they're great poses, but it does look like you think everyone's looking at you.
Notice you've copied my beard?
You're imitating the God-Man.
Thanos then shows up on Titan and has a heart-to-heart with Doctor Strange.
No offense, but your employees are a bunch of jerks.
He tries to rationalize his genocidal thoughts, but because his planet died because they didn't listen to him, eventually all the planets will die because they don't listen to him. So everybody attacks Thanos at once, while the Cloak of Levitation keeps him from using the stones, and Mantis tries to put him to sleep, but he's too powerful.
She was able to put Ego to sleep, and he was a Celestial.
Yeah, I don't think she's putting that much effort in. It's not like the fate of the universe is at stake or anything.
You can destroy life on a scale hitherto undreamt of.
So they're about to get the gauntlet off, but Quill is questioning Thanos about Gamora, and Mantis and Nebula are not helping by filling in the blanks.
He mourns.
What is this monster? I have to mourn.
Gamora.
All they had to do was wait until they got the glove off to start quizzing him. But no. Quill finds out that Gamora is dead and punches Thanos, waking him up. And I guess he just totally forgot he was holding a gun.
Hey, shoot him! Hey, shoot him! Shoot him! Shoot him! Shut the fuck up! Somebody shoot this prick! Shoot him! Shoot the prick! Somebody shoot this prick!
It's not like he's never shot anybody before.
I know that sounds bad.
But this is still better than Doctor Strange completely forgetting he has the time stone. I mean, he could have frozen time, or reversed it whenever they couldn't get it, or turned Thanos into a baby and it could have just slid off.
You might want to put that time stone in your back pocket, Doc.
You might want to use it.
And he also could have just done what Wong did in the park.
Unlike everyone else in your life, I don't work for you.
So instead, he gets free, and when Iron Man goes to fight him, Thanos throws a moon at him.
I think I did okay.
Back in Wakanda, the aliens tunnel under the shield with these machines that could drive over the human army, so Wanda goes out to stop them.
Why didn't they just start with that?
Well, Corvus Glaive needed time to sneak into the palace and find where Vision was. So once he was there, that's when they sent out the big dogs to pull Wanda out. But Vision put up a fight, and they went out the window. And that's when we had the Black Order versus Avenger fights, because we can't have some rando border guard kill a bad guy with a name, can we?
What made to you so special?
On Titan, gravity is now all screwed up, and Spider-Man's tying people up to keep them from flying away. Tony starts to fight Thanos, but only manages to cut him.
All that for a drop of blood.
If you can make God bleed, then people will cease to believe in him.
And then Thanos stabs him.
Been a while.
Thanos is about to kill Tony using all 4 stones that he has when Tony isn't even putting up a fight. Might be a little overkill. But Doctor Strange says he'll give him the stone to save him.
Our oath to protect the Time Stone cannot change.
Thank you!
Tony then spray foams himself, and Thanos teleports to Wakanda.
You will never guess who just popped up on our radar.
Wanda goes to Vision, but even though Thanos is right there, she can't destroy the stone. He begs her.
The man is suicidal.
But she takes her sweet ass time doing it. He's beating everyone up while she blasts Vision, and she sees that Thanos is able to get through all these superheroes without a problem. And then she finally decides to just get it over with, instead of doing the slow, torturous death she's been putting him through. I mean, when Thanos gets to her, she's able to hold him back while he's using the Space Stone and kill Vision at the same time. So she's got a little power behind her. She finally destroys it, but he just uses the Time Stone to bring it back, and he just rips it out of his head.
Fizz, is it the stone again?
He places it in the gauntlet, and he powers up for 2 seconds. Until Thor flies in and throws his axe into his chest.
Bingo! All right.
Thanos looks at him and says,
You should have gone for the head.
And snaps his fingers.
We're all gonna die!
He then teleports away, but is nice enough to leave Stormbreaker behind. Because while he might be a mass-murdering fuckhead, he's not a thief.
So cool.
But then, all of a sudden, half of the characters start disappearing.
Which ones?
Well, all of the OG Avengers stick around so they can wrap up their character arcs, and anyone kinda new turns to dust. Well, Thanos was nice enough to give them enough time to say goodbye, And they're all conveniently in front of the character that would most likely care about them the most.
Don't do anything stupid until I get back.
How can I? Taking all the stupid with you.
Ever since you got a little sap, you're a total D-hole.
If anything, it's kind of your fault that I'm here.
What did you just say?
I take that back.
You're going to die for that.
But we do see that McFlurry got a page out to Captain Marvel before he flaked out.
We're in the end game now.
I'm sorry, you giving out tickets or something?
So I heard you were going to subscribe.
Thank you for standing with us.
Is it weird that I want to do it even more now?
A little bit.
You better pack it up and get out of here.
Bye.